I'm Narelle Todd.
And I'm Essie Susan Smith.
We are the self-publishing author and marketing duo that has sold over 2 million books. But we didn't start out knowing how to sell books. Fast forward past many failed promotions and a lot of lessons learned, you will see how we went from self-publishing newbies to hitting the New York Times bestsellers list and making the USA Today bestsellers list 19 times and counting. We created the Get My Book Out There podcast to give you simple yet effective marketing strategies to increase readership and book sales, so you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, as well as some tips for staying mentally and physically well.
Let's get started.
And we're coming to you today to talk about games. Everyone loves a good game. Well, maybe just us, but yes, everyone loves a good game. And we wanted to talk about how to create games from your stories. Once again, it's a way for reader engagement. It's a way for some fun marketing. Who doesn't love to play a game? So we wanted to step through the 3 things that we think are important when we're looking at creating games from stories. So Susan, you're a pro at this one. You've got some really good games that you've created. Tell us about that.
Well, again, all of this started when I was teaching, and I was tasked with creating the website for our school because it was really, really frustrating. It was very, very difficult to create one, and I found a site that made it really easy. And I mean, I had parents from around the world that were in the military and their child was going to our school. They would actually call the principal and say, "I'm so glad that you did this. I'm able to keep up with what's going on in my child's classroom." But what they really loved, and I found based on the statistics, was they loved the games that I had on there. And, for the school, I had puzzles and I had word searches. So those were my 2 favorite because I realized, hey, I'm getting parents to visit our site and kids to visit our site just so that they could play games. So of course, when I became an author and I had to create my website, I'm thinking, I've got to have games because I have one reader who's always sending me links to the puzzles that she makes. And so I'm like, because I'll sit there and I'll put them together and then I'll have to do them again and again and again so I can beat the time that I had before. So I knew on my site, I've got to add games. And it's a great way to create puzzles out of your book covers, out of your artwork, which, we did a podcast on how to use artwork. Use your artwork to help build your SEO.
Yeah.
Help keep your readers engaged on your website. So this is another great way to use the artwork or repurpose items that you've had before. Your book covers, you could do, one of the things I'm adding is going to be like a quiz. So you can actually put in the questions that are based on your characters to find out which character they the most like. So you make it not only fun and engaging, but you're connecting it to your work, so they're like, it's not just some random image. They want to come and they want to do it. And you can do it both on a website, which is where I love to have mine, but I also have them create puzzles. And I actually, believe it or not, created a board game. So I have the Dragon Lords of Valdir, the Hive board game with trading, with the cards, and they have to, it's kind of like an adult Chutes and Ladders, because I always love Chutes and Ladders. But in this case, they're in that world, and I have the background, which I had created, which is the Valdir world. So you have the castle and the palace and forest and the river that runs through and everything. And they actually have to play the game by reading the card and based on events that happen in the book as to whether or not they move forward or go backwards. And, I have, like I said, the puzzles, but I think one of my favorite is being able to put it on my website and have readers engaged there. So yes, games are fun, as much fun as artwork.
Yeah. So for the reader, it's all about the fun and getting to know the characters more, just spending some time with the characters, because readers love being engaged that way. But as you say, it's also good for stuff like SEO, just to see what's actually hitting with readers. I think that's a good way to be able to assess that as well. So there's some good business side of things there to games.
And again, that was one of the things that I noticed when I had placed it on the website for the school was the number of hits I was getting. And, it was always 4 times higher than any other page that I had. So I knew, whoa, people who visit your site, they like this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we know why, creating games is a good idea. What do we need to look for in games? What makes a good game?
Definitely the engagement. So you want to look at things that are going to keep them happy, keep them occupied, a challenge, because if it's not challenging, of course, they're not going to want to stay around. Change it up so that they're not just doing the same one over and over and over. Even if you have a puzzle where it's, a book cover, change up the book cover. So you can have, half a dozen different puzzles on there, all with different book covers, and then they can sort through and try and put them together, and then do it as a time. Have it where they can compete against other people so that they can come back again and again and try and do it, where they're moving up so that they can be at that top notch with the best score.
Yeah.
You also want to do variety if you can. So I have the puzzle, and like I said, I'm moving into doing like the little quizzes. And we've all done those online. So it's like, if you do this, and this, what's your personality like? And, one of the cool things would be like, you can do it on your characters. So they have to guess based on these different things, who the character is in one of your series or in one of your books. They could do a quiz to see who are they the most like.
Yes.
In your series or your books. So there's a lot of really cool engagement there that not only is entertaining for them, but that they can actually say, hey, oh yeah, I read this book. This is why. It's because I'm a lot like this person.
Yes. Yeah. And you could also, I'm just thinking now, you could also use it for like pre-orders, to get those lifted up if you do some things on characters that they're not necessarily or they haven't got to meet yet, or it was just a minor character in a previous story. You could expand a little bit on them, and here's the pre-order. Go buy their book, and when it comes out. So,
and even if they're doing it and they're not sure, and then they're learning more about your books, they may say, I didn't read that series because I didn't think I'd like it, but oh my God, now I've got to go check it out.
Yes.
Because I didn't realize that, this is the kind of stuff I do like to read. I've had that happen with my Dust series, my YA series, where they're thinking, oh, I just read the adult stuff. I don't read the YA. And then they've gotten curious or desperate. I think most of it's been out of desperation. They're like, I need something to read. I know she writes really good. Let me try this one. I haven't read it. And then they're like, oh my God, when's the next one coming out?
Yeah.
So this is what
Which
you
was
want.
me. I did that with Dust. It's like, it's YA. What?
Yes.
But,
and I know that's not usually the genre that you like, but you
No.
just fall in love with the character.
Yes.
All of them really. But,
Yes.
Dust has a special place in my heart, but it's just that in the storyline, the second story really shocked me because I wasn't expecting, this element to pop up. It's like, oh, holy crap. It's totally different than what I imagined, but this is the way the characters say.
Yes.
So you can do the same thing through your games, just getting them interested. And like I said, you're repurposing artwork into and your work that you've already done. You're just repurposing it and giving it new life in a different way.
And everyone knows that we love a good repurpose. So
yes.
So how do we go about getting games created? Should people be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or that they're going to have to, mortgage their house in order to pay for a game? How is that going to work?
The really cool thing is most of them, they're already made out there and they're not that expensive. And I think that's what most people are afraid of putting games on, because they're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay, a software programmer $40,000 to have a game made for, my book. No, you don't. You can go to Code Canyon, all one word, CODE Canyon, CANYON.net. And that's just one place, but you can search. And for me, if you've got like a WordPress system, you can search for games WordPress. And then those are all plugins. So they're actually plugins that you can purchase. And most of them are anywhere from, I would say, $20 to $50.
Okay. So quite
And you just
reasonable.
purchase these plugins to go in your site. And then once you have them, you can upload your own artwork and your own quiz questions and everything, and have the link, where it's right there on your website, because it plugs into your website just like any of the other plugins.
Yeah.
One of the things to look at when I was searching, I was looking when would they last updated, and if the developer is continuing to update them, because I want to make sure that they can do that. If you're running not on a WordPress website, they do have all different formats. So don't be afraid to look at the other formats. And some of them run with the HTML coding. So you can actually put the HTML coding right into your website, and then it creates that puzzle on your desktop. So these are all things that are not that hard to do. It's just if you don't know about them, you don't do them. And they're not that expensive. Because once you bought that plugin, unless there's maybe a maintenance update once a year, which is usually very, very inexpensive, a couple of, I'd say $5, $6. And a lot of them don't even have that.
So it's reasonable then to buy. So we don't need to worry about that. We know where to go to find them, which is codecanyon.net. And so it really is a way then for you to just be creative in a different way with your stories, and give readers another way to access and to relive, that feeling you get when you read a good story. And then, so we get to play with it a bit more. I love that kind of thing.
And have a lot of fun. Use the artwork that you should be creating, that you can use another, and repurpose.
Yeah, absolutely. We love a good repurpose. Okay, everyone, well, get out there, go see what kind of games you can create. And of course, we'd love to see, what you come up with. So share with us, let us know. We can't wait to see them.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. We've got way more information we want to share with you to increase your book sales. So please come and join me at facebook.com. Get my book out there.